Okay, in this video, I'm going to teach you Facebook advertising and how to get traffic to your website. So first, I'm going to go into why Facebook ads and why it's the most powerful advertising platform on the planet. Then I'm going to teach you how to source creative, which is the actual advertisement for your product. Then I'm going to show you how to set up your ads manager, the actual ad strategy, and how to analyze your results. So first, why Facebook ads? With over 2 billion users on Facebook and Instagram, it is the largest advertising platform in the world. Everybody is on Facebook and Instagram. Your customer is on the platform and you need to be in front of them. Next, it is the most powerful advertising algorithm in history, which means you can have high conversion rates. So a good conversion rate for an e-commerce business is usually 2 to 3%. With Facebook ads, I've seen conversion rates upwards of 5, 6, 7%. And the reason for that is because they just have more data than any other company in the world. Most websites have a Facebook pixel installed, and what this allows Facebook to do is to track what people are doing on every website. It can see when somebody's adding to cart, when somebody's purchasing, when somebody's viewing a certain product. And even after the Apple iOS 14 updates, Facebook still has a lot of data. Next, it's scalable. You can build a 7 to 8 figure business just by using Facebook ads. Like when you have 2 billion users, you can reach as many people as possible. And yes, it's definitely good to diversify your traffic sources. It's good to have Facebook ads, Instagram influencers, TikTok, Google, SEO, email marketing, but Facebook is still the most powerful platform. And in the beginning, it should be your entire focus. Get Facebook off the ground first, and then you can look into influencer marketing, TikTok ads, SEO, email marketing, blogging. There's many ways to get traffic, but Facebook will always be the most scalable and the most effective. Next, how to source creative. Now, creative is the most important variable for Facebook ads success in 2022. Previously, you could hack your way with bidding strategies, with targeting, but nowadays, Facebook has so much data that it knows who to target based on your creative. So your creative, your actual advertisement is the most important part. And remember, a good creative can only come from a winning product. You can't polish shit. You need to have a good product first, and then you can create a good creative. There's 2 ways to source creative. Number 1, you can film your own, and number 2, you can buy it online. So to film your own creative, what you have to do is first order samples. Go to AliExpress, order your product. It may take 2 to 4 weeks to arrive, and after that, you need to have at least some basic photography and videography skills. And if you don't have it yourself, you can ask a few friends. You might know a few people that are skilled in this discipline. But yeah, that's how you do it if you want to film your own creative. I don't really recommend it. I recommend buying creative. It's much more effective, and it's better to spend money on getting it right than just trying to figure out yourself. The next way to do it is to send products to influencers. This requires a lot of outreach on Instagram and TikTok. You want to go on Instagram, search up hashtags, and then DM influencers that fit your target market and ask them, hey, if we send you a free product, could you send us a video? But honestly, I don't recommend this because sometimes you're going to end up sending products and just getting nothing back. So I don't recommend this method. The method I recommend is buying your creative online from websites such as Fiverr, Billo, Viral Ecom Ads, Winning Ads Media, Bands Off Ads, and more. These guys have experience. They've made many videos. They're skilled in this manner. So I believe it's much better to just go online, get creatives made. It won't cost you more than $100, and it should be delivered within 3 to 5 days. You don't have to wait 2 to 4 weeks for delivery, and you don't have to have any skills in photography and videography. So now I'm going to show you a few examples of the websites where you can get video ads made. So first, you have Fiverr. Fiverr is an amazing marketplace. When you go on Fiverr, there's so many services on here that you can use for e-commerce. And yeah, so you just go on Fiverr, type dropshipping video ads. As you can see here, there's almost 8,000 services available. There's a lot of competition on Fiverr, which means you get great prices and you get, high quality work. As you can see here, $40, $5, $15, $40. You have 5-star reviews. You have, 1,000+ reviews here. There's a lot of competition. So there's a lot of great video ads that you can buy from Fiverr. Go through the relevant page and just pick a good service. Next, you have Viral Ecom Ads. This is another great service where you can get video ads made. They sell, video ads such as the split testing ad package. And what they do for these videos is they source video content from the internet. So they source video from YouTube, from Google, from Vimeo, from AliExpress, and they edit them together. So that's why these type of packages only take, 2 to 3 days to be delivered. It's super fast and super efficient. So you can get a best-selling video ad package here. I recommend this one here. You can get animations done. This is something you can test later on once you have proof of concept. And then obviously you can get UGC ads done. It's definitely a great way to get good content done. The Viral Ecom Ads is another website you can buy from. Next, you have Winning Ads Media. This is another great site. Once again, you can get 3 premium video ads made. And then you can get, I recommend the A/B testing package as always. And you can also purchase UGC from here. And finally, you have Bands Off Ads. Once again, similar concept. You can get, classic ads, vertical ads, UGC ads, and TikTok ads. And their pricing is down here. You have the split testing package for 3 variations for $65. You get vertical ads, and you can obviously get UGC ads. Like we said earlier, it's custom made footage. It's much more better, but it does take a little bit more time to be delivered. I use it more for scaling rather than testing a concept. So this is where you can get good ads made. Next, setting up your ads manager. Before you start running Facebook ads, you want to make sure you have a business manager created. A business manager is super important because if you run ads from your personal account, if you get banned, it's very hard to appeal it and get it back. You want to have a business manager, and inside the business manager, make sure you have a dedicated ad account and make sure you have a business page. After you've done that, you want to verify your domain and pick 8 conversion events in the aggregated events manager. So for the 8 events, you want to set it. The first one you want to have is purchase, then initiate checkout, then add to cart, then view content. And for purchase, there should be an option to turn on value reporting. Make sure you turn that on. Make sure purchase is the highest priority and view content is the lowest priority. After you've set up your ads manager, make sure you have your ad copy and creative ready. You can purchase that from Billo and those other services I showed before. And yeah, that's all you need. So next, here's the Facebook ad strategy. As a minimum budget, I want you to spend $50 to $100 per day. That's the absolute minimum budget for Facebook ads. And for that $50 to $100 per day, you can split it up into multiple ad sets. And per ad set, I want you to spend $10 per ad set and turn on ad set budget optimization, which means your budget is spent at the ad set level. Don't worry, I'm gonna do a walkthrough of the ads manager and show you exactly what all this means. Next, you want to do a conversions campaign and you want to optimize for purchase. Always optimize for purchase. Don't optimize for add to cart, for view content, for link clicks or anything else, because Facebook will always give you what you optimize for. So make sure you optimize for purchase. Then turn on auto placements, and for the attribution setting, turn on 7 days click or 1 day view. After that, you want to pick 5 to 10 interests that fit your product and audience, ideally in the sizes of 500,000 to 1 million each. Generally, larger audiences are better. They tend to be cheaper and they're much more scalable. So if you can, try and get a larger audience than a smaller one. In terms of interest ideas, the first thing you can do are general keywords. So if you have a boxing brand, a keyword could be boxing, right? Next, you want to put in a few brands. So these will be, companies that are related to your niche. So, let's say you're selling makeup, you can put Kylie Cosmetics. Next, you have magazines and TV shows. And after that, you have public figures and celebrities. Look, don't overthink interest. Just find interests that your target customer would be interested in. Next, you want to put in 3 to 5 ad creatives per ad set. After you've launched your ad, you want to leave your ad set to run for at least 4 to 7 days. So if your ad set budget is $10, you don't want to touch your ads until it's spent between $40 to $70. Right? It takes time for data to come in. To analyze your Facebook ad results, here are the metrics that you need to watch out for. CPM, which is your cost per 1,000 impressions. Next, your link click-through rate, which is how much people click through to your website from the ads. Next is the cost per link click, which is how much it costs for one person to go to your website. And then your cost per purchase and ROAS. And I've put in brackets overall here because due to delayed reporting, Facebook takes a few days to actually update the cost per purchase. So I like doing it manually. So you go to your website and you divide your ad spend by your number of purchases. So CPM and CPC, cost per 1,000 impressions. So cost per 1,000 impressions is how much it costs to run your ads on Facebook, how much it costs for 1,000 people to see your ads. Now, Facebook is an auction system. You can't really control your CPM, but what you can control is your ad creative, how engaging it is, the quality of the video. All of these factors matter. So to lower your CPM, you want to have a better video ad. You might want to change a few keywords in the copy. You want to make your ad more engaging. All of these things will improve your CPM, but you can't directly control it. And it's the same as your CPC. You can't directly control your CPC because it's dependent on your CPM. But if you create a more engaging ad, you can get a lower CPM and a lower cost per click. Next, your link click-through rate should be at least 1 to 2%. On cold traffic, people who have never seen your ads before, at least 1 or 2 out of 100 people should click through on your ad. A higher click-through rate will give you a lower CPC. So what you want is a higher click-through rate. Make sure your ads are engaging. Next, you want to know your break-even cost per purchase and your break-even ROAS. If, for example, if your product cost is $10 and you sell it for $30, you have a $20 cost per purchase. This means if you spend more than $20 to acquire a customer, you will lose money. So you have to remember that. You have to know your break-even cost per purchase. Analyze your cost per purchase and ROAS off platform due to the current reporting limitations by Facebook. You could have 5 sales in your Facebook Ads Manager, but on Shopify you have 10 sales. So don't use the Ads Manager to analyze your cost per purchase. What you should do is go to your Shopify dashboard, and divide your total ad spend by your number of orders to get your real cost per purchase. Yes, this makes it a little bit harder to analyze your ads, but there's nothing you can do about that right now. Facebook are working on improving it, but for now this is the only way to do it. Next, so after you've waited 4 to 7 days, if your performance is poor, test new advertising creatives. This is the most important variable. You might need a new video ad, you might need a new scroll stopper, you might need better messaging or better quality creatives. You might need to do a photo ad instead of a video ad, and vice versa. So test different ad creatives, and you can always test new audiences as well. And remember, a good ad creative will always come from a good product. So make sure you have a good product first. Now, finally, to scale, what you want to do is duplicate your ad sets at a higher budget. So before we were doing an ad set for $10, duplicate it to $20 and leave that for 7 days. If that performs well, duplicate it to $40 and so on. You can keep going that way. And remember to always test new interest and test new creatives. You want to scale your advertising campaigns by having a lot of interest and having a lot of creatives in the account. And by doing that, it will help you diversify your spend and improve.